I'm reading all the books on my bookshelf. Let's see what it is. Batman: A Death in the Family. The published graphic novel for Batman: A Death in the Family is actually the compilation of two different comic stories published in the late 1980s. A Death in the Family allowed fans to take the narrative into their own hands by voting on whether or not Jason Todd would survive the wrath of the Joker. For the uninitiated, Jason Todd was the second person to take on the mantle of Robin, and he's not a lot of people's favorite Robin. I have a long-running theory that no matter what, DC was going to kill off Jason Todd. Allowing the fans to vote gave them some agency, but it was clear that Jason Todd's character alongside Batman just wasn't working. This story follows two white men traveling to the Middle East to deal with terrorists in their own way. And on top of leaning into very harmful stereotypes, this story just never really captured me. I was sure I was going to shelve this book or give it away, and then I got to the second half of the story. A Lonely Place of Dying is a far more dynamic story because it isn't so focused on Bruce Wayne, and the characters who surround the Bat have always been more interesting to me. I grew up reading The New Titans and Nightwing and stories featuring Barbara Gordon as the Oracle. The Bat fam that surrounds Batman is just made up of characters who I find far more intriguing than Bruce Wayne. And since this storyline takes place over multiple different comic titles, it's immediately more stimulating. In this story, Batman is chasing down Two-Face, Dick Grayson, who was the original Robin, is reliving his past, and a little boy named Tim Drake is following both of them around. Tim Drake does become the next Robin, and like many people, Tim is one of my favorite Robins. He's the exact antithesis of Jason Todd. His personality is bubbly and curious. He's eager to please, and he stands up to Batman without ever insulting him. He's much more reminiscent of a 1950s Dick Grayson.
Holy jitterbug!
He balances out the brooding Batman, while Jason Todd was too much of a parallel to Bruce Wayne. To see Bruce Wayne reunited with Dick Grayson filled my nostalgic heart with joy, and to see Batman reunited with Robin felt like everything in the DC universe was balanced again. Overall, if you've never read a Batman comic, this might be a good first choice. I rate it 6 out of 10 dead moms.